Okay, welcome to Valence Developer Diaries number 47. Today we're going to walk through a couple of things with edit grids that are local data, a grid, regular grid, they work together a bit, forms. I think that's it, right? I'm not missing
Yeah,
any.
that sounds like about it.
All right, bear with me. My computer is dog. Okay. All right, so we have this one application right now that just has an edit grid, a regular grid, and a form. Let me just point out this edit grid is not paging and it is marked as local data. And we have it as cell editing. Um, so yeah, I should just run the app first. A couple of things we want to accomplish here. Okay. The first thing we want to accomplish is that I want the user to be able to select items from this grid and add them to the quote. Nothing happens right now.
So just and typically, you might have to accomplish this via the back end or something of,
Right.
writing to a work file and then, reloading the grid on the left. And, the goal here is just to be able to do it all on the front end.
So we have our edit grid, we have a regular grid. If we go into widget properties, you're going to see that there's this add selected rows to, and then it just says the name of the grid and the ID. So this is grids that are local data. You can then add rows to them directly. If I click on that, we have mapping. So in our case, for our example purposes, both grids, their data sources, like column names are the same, but they could be different. So these are the columns for that edit grid. And then the grid that I'm currently in, which is a regular grid, the available items, I'm mapping the value of that to that. Okay.
So on just to clarify, on the left-hand side,
I think
um, we're seeing the fields or the columns for the quote grid, the grid that we want to add to. And then on the right-hand side, right, when you do that combo box, we're
yes,
seeing the data that's actually available from that available items.
correct. So we're just, I mean, this is straightforward, just category description. They're pretty much the same. We're not putting in quantity. We're leaving that blank. Um, but once you have the mapping set, then you need to trigger it. So we have over here, must be set to true. You must have at least one mapping. And of course, there has to be at least one selected row in that grid. Okay. So um, we already have a app variable of add items. Let's save that. Go to add items. Okay, so it sees that it's selected there. Add items true. So I'm just going to go to behaviors real quick so we can see that. So it should be add quote. Add to qualifiers an event, add items, and simple add items true. So it should now add one to many rows that you have selected to that grid. So let's just save that. Reload frame. Okay. I'll take. So now you
So,
see that those were added quantities and we didn't map the quantity, so it's 0. It's required.
so your add to quote button set on that app variable
To
that
true.
to true, and then it's at that point we're checking to see, well, do you have any selected rows, and at that point applying that mapping.
Yes, correct. Okay. The next thing
So
is
this is just added locally, right? So data is not been saved on the files yet. So this is just local edit grid.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
wholly
up to the
available.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the app to then save it and backend RPG to do whatever you like.
Okay. And this, you mapped it field by field. Is there a way, how we map row record with a form, like we just have to display it, so we pass entire row to that one field and just load it on the form? Similar, is there anything
No,
similar
you have to
here?
map it field by field, whichever ones you want.
Okay.
All right. The
John,
delete.
on
Sorry, go
your
ahead.
when you add this, can you add duplicates then to the list, or does it check for that?
You could right now you could add duplicates. You could do your own checking, but this is just a way for you to whatever selected rows are there to plop them in the edit grid.
You know,
That's
Got
local
it.
data.
Thank you.
and because it's local data, like if this wasn't local data, then we would have to be syncing the database ourselves. And, then that might be generating, duplicate errors if you allowed that. But because it's local data is why we allow it. And then, the back end's responsible for saving the local data always, right? In any local data edit grid.
Correct. Yeah. And then to what was it? The other one was removing. So just being able to remove those rows internally, multiple rows at the same time. So if we look back at the local data grid, we have remove selected rows, and then there's remove selected rows confirmation message. This is not mandatory. You could just have it remove the row or rows. Um, so I'm just going to link that.
So Johnny, this is just a true based, like you
This
just
is,
said.
yeah, this is just a true.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So if I go to, it's just setting that to true. And you're going to see it's just going to remove those. And you can remove one to many. Um, however, and like I stated, you might want a confirmation, which I think we already have set up. That's just I click it, remove items. Yes, I'll remove those 3 items for you within the local data grid. It's not, this is all still local. It's still up to a save or something to then process whatever items have been changed, removed, added to the local data edit grid.
Okay, so if we have to sync it, like, when we move from available to quote, it should go away from available, and vice versa. When you remove from quote, it should add into available items. So both needs to be edit grid, local edit grid, right?
Like the yeah. So if I understood your question, both the remove process that he's demonstrating and that auto add process, it's only valid for a local data edit grid. Was that the question?
Yeah. So if we add one available item to quote, it should remove from available items and add it to quotes.
Okay, I see. Oh, so yeah, in this case, I don't think we are removing it from the right-hand side grid, right? Is that what you're,
Yeah. And same way, when you remove it from quote, it should again show as available.
right? Yeah, I mean, we didn't do it like that in the demo. Trying to think if that would be, well, because I mean, it'd probably be easier to do that than if they were both local data.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how I would do it.
Yeah, you'd want them both to be local data in
Right.
that case.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and then just on that add, it removes those moves, and then if you remove it here, it goes back. But we just chose just a regular grid for demo purposes.
Yeah, and I guess, there's also nothing stopping you, I guess, from just having the row click, you know,
Right.
add to the left and to the
Yeah,
right, because it's
not
still a
at all.
selection. So,
Yeah, we just chose this to show
yeah, so you can do
many.
multiple. Yeah.
Okay, the demo edit.
So this next thing, in some cases, you have an edit grid with cell editing, and you might have some conditions on your cell editing. Like for example, this particular cell is editable unless, column XYZ is equal to 1, 2, 3 or something like that. Um, in this case, we know it doesn't make sense, but we just said, look, quantity is only editable if the quantity is greater than 1. Okay.
So I guess to give a little like, if you were moving into like another section and you want to automatically edit the row prior to, we have the auto edit and it just says, okay, you give me the row number or the RN and we'll attempt to auto edit. In this example now, that auto edit item is being set to 1. We're like, we don't know that we want to have the first row, but really do the first available since I know there's conditions. So
Maybe the first row doesn't have an editable cell. We don't know. We don't know what the data is going to
any
be.
conditions and right. So I'm just going to set that true. So now before, nothing's happening because it's set to say, hey, edit that first row. Well, the first row has nothing to edit because of that condition.
So then we just break out and say, oh, there's nothing editable.
Right.
So now we still said start at 1, but then we also added that auto focus to the first editable. So basically it's kind of just saying start at row 1 and then work your way down. Find me the first editable cell and then position me there.
Yeah, based on if you have any conditions. Forms. Form. Um, we just threw this together just to have something, but so we have this form and there was times that we were getting requests to have like a horizontal line to kind of break things up. Now if we go in our form, you can add a horizontal line as an item to your form. And let's just say this is by 3, make the span 3.
So it's subject to the same spanning and widths like any
Yes.
other.
And I'm going to add it above customer number. So it gives you that horizontal line. You might have some things that you need and then you want to break. It's come up multiple times on requests and stuff like that. So that was added. And you can have more than one. It's not like just one per, you could just add another if you'd like. Let me just save that and then it was tab index, right, Sean?
Yeah, tab index might be worth showing.
So I'm just going the natural, this is no tab index has been changed. So starts at number, tab goes to date, then status, then customer name, because customer number is not editable, and then contact name and contact email. You could change that order. So having a number, and you can see in there, it's a little fast. Could be a -1 to say, I don't want you to be able to tab to this field, even though it's editable. So I don't know, just show.
Probably a unique use case.
Yeah.
I
But we
guess.
had requests for it.
Yeah, right.
So I just kind of threw it all over the place. So it's kind of going to jump around, but.
Yeah.
So I was just jumping around. So yeah, you can adjust the tab order if you need to. But like Sean said, I feel like it is a unique use case. And it's all for just that form itself, So okay. I think
that was it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
In the meantime,
go ahead.
we're really busy on 6.4, so there'll be a lot of things in 6.4 to look forward to, hopefully. So
Yes, indeed.
What's the tentative dates of 6.4?
June.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, what is that? All right, we will as always have this recording, and we will move this up to our YouTube channel when it's done. And is there any other questions?
thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Any questions before
Thanks.
Very good. I don't see any in the chat. Okay, great.
All right.
Well, thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.